Hi y'all. I'm back. Episode 2. My friend. Hi. Gretta. Cut. Anyway, episode 2. Appreciate all the love and the support that I got from y'all with the
I'm sorry.
from the first episode. Anyway, I said that I had a special guest. This is my special guest. So, we're going to be talking about something that we honestly both struggle with. She has it a little worse than I do, though. Just a tad. That most people struggle with. I don't even know if with anxiety in some type of level. Mine didn't start getting bad though until probably my first semester of college, and then also when my grandfather passed away last February. That's when it started to get really bad. I was super anxious. So we're going to be talking about that and how some triggers, I know for me, I don't know if you have any triggers. Some triggers. And then also, the most fun thing to talk about is depression. I'm being sarcastic, it's not. I also struggle with depression too. I feel like I've gotten mine so much under control.
Do you see this on my parents? Does it look like I have my depression under control?
Well,
Alright then.
so anyway, we're gonna get into some details about that. I'm gonna tell you some things about me that I don't usually share. But yeah, this is what we're doing today, guys. So anyway, how are you doing, darling?
Today I'm good. Today's been a good day. Yeah. Got to go out and see my family and go to school and hang out with you, so kind of got out of my regular day of just sitting here by myself. You know, I live alone, so it can get kind of lonely, and that's when the depression does hit really hard, and the anxiety as well, just because you're by yourself and you don't have anybody to talk to, or, you know, just even just have another human being around to just feel their presence, and it does get kind of overwhelming sometimes. The quarantine has been really hard for me especially, and I know a lot of other people who struggle with mental health issues are having a really hard time, and that's understandable because we're put in a situation where we can't go out and do things we regularly do to keep our minds busy and ourselves active and keep ourselves out of our headspace, which is, you know, going out shopping or going out to eat. I mean, now everything's kind of starting to open back up, but there for a while it was really hard. So
scary. I know a lot of people that have anxiety and depression way worse than I do, that all they can do is sit at home because they don't have a job and they can't go out to eat because obviously the restaurants are closed, and it's hard. It's hard. I'm thankful that I do have a job to go to every day, that I can get out of the house, that I do have friends like this one sitting beside me, that we do go out and we do stuff like swimming all day today and laying in the sun. It was just very good vitamin D.
good vibes in general.
If you would like that sentence, I know some of you are not sure. But anyway, sorry. But anyway, what age did you realize that your anxiety was getting out of control? Like, was there a certain age that you realized it?
Actually, the anxiety part of things didn't really start for me until, I don't know your fan base enough for them to know this about me, but I am a recovering addict. I am now 3 years as of like last.
Woo!
Yes. And I struggle with a lot of other hard drugs as well. You know, I did cocaine, I smoked weed all the time. You know, heavy drinker. Now I'm clean and sober, so that's great. But when I stopped doing everything, that's when things started to hit me. And
I think just because I had blocked out the real world for so long that it all kind of came flying at me and I just couldn't handle it. And it hit me, but not right away. It was gradual. It was, you know, I just started feeling not like myself. I started, you know, I'd be out in public and I'd feel weird, and I was normally a social butterfly. I was always out, always hanging out with friends, always doing something, and it started to be where I don't really want to be at my house by myself. I couldn't be out in public because I'd get overwhelmed, and it was too much.
Yeah.
And it was December of 2017, Christmas Day, that I had my first panic attack. I will never forget, I was working at a Ruger's at the time with you, and I had to work Christmas Day, and I remember I walked up to the host stand, and you were actually standing there, and you looked at me, and you said, "You don't look okay, are you all right?" And I said, I don't know, and you said I looked like a ghost. I was pale white, and it turns out I was having a panic attack. At the time, I had never had one before. I had no idea what was happening to me. I thought I was dying, or...
That's honestly how you
honestly,
feel, though.
And it is, and I've actually had a mild heart attack before, so when I was on methamphetamine, so I was concerned. I'm like, I know I have heart problems, you know, I've been on heart monitors, I've had to get everything checked up over the years to make sure I'm okay, so being, you know, freshly clean, I was concerned, what if, you know, this is something within my body that's like shutting down or something, something could be seriously wrong. I actually ended up leaving work and going to the hospital, and I remember the nurses just laughed at me, and they were like, oh, it's just a panic attack. And it's like, okay, but for me, not knowing what it was, it was scary.
And you do. You feel like you're dying. If you guys never experienced anxiety or had a panic attack, you literally feel like you're dying. Like,
yeah.
That's literally all I can explain it. I don't even know how else to explain it. I know my family can relate a lot with it because I know my mom struggled with it a while, my brother struggles with it, and my grandma struggles with it. So I'm thankful, well, I shouldn't say I'm thankful, but I am thankful that I have people that understand when I do have an anxiety attack, that they know how to, not necessarily take care of me, but they know what to do. Some people like when you give them hugs when they have anxiety attack, or you just like lay on top of them. I know I need weight. When I have anxiety really bad and I have my anxiety attacks, I need weight. Hence why I have a weighted blanket on my bed that I sleep with every night, because it helps me not get anxious. I just have to be literally in a ball. And sometimes I like when people hug me, and sometimes I don't touch me. Yeah. Like, I'm freaking out. Just leave me go.
Yeah. It's one or the other, really, for me. I do a lot of, like, movement. Like, I can't sit still. I have to be constantly moving. I like to be able to hear my heart beating, because that comforts me, because otherwise I think my heart's just stopping.
See, that freaks me out.
No, see, mine's the other way. See, everybody's different, and that's the thing. There's no specific, like, panic attack. Like, this is 100% the symptoms you're going to have. Like, there's so many different, like, kinds of panic attacks that you can have. And
yeah, no, that freaks me out.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
I do the ice pack on the chest. You actually taught me that. That one really helps
If
me.
you go like this, my mom taught me that.
Yeah. That one really helps me a lot.
A lot. A lot. For some weird reason, I don't know why it is.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing that will, like, calm me. Yeah. I can't have the TV on.
Oh, see, I have to be watching a TV show. I watch YouTube videos. I know. I watch YouTube videos. I watch Netflix. Mukbangs, which I know everybody's disgusted by. They're like, why do you want to see people eat? That's weird. Greta, you're freaking weird. And I'm like, I know. But something about it, the ASMR concept of it, it does soothe me. I don't know why. It's the weirdest thing ever. I could not tell you why, but yeah. So, secret shame. So, just random things like that. I have to have something to distract me, because otherwise I'm concentrating 100% on my panic attack, and then it spirals deeper. And mine comes in waves. I'll get hit with it really hard, and then it'll kind of subside a little bit, and then it'll come back strong, and then it'll kind of wave back out. And it's like the waves of the ocean, like, and then it'll just get gradually smaller and smaller, and then it'll level out, and everything's calm and I'm okay again, but most of the time that's because I took my benzos.
Yeah.
That's really the only thing that I found that does genuinely help me, and it's hard for me as a recovering addict to be reliant upon, you know, a benzo to help me with this disorder, because it's a very strong possibility I could end up getting addicted to those and needing those just to get through the day. Thankfully, I haven't reached a point where that's a problem. You know, I take them only as needed, and it hasn't become a thing where I've abused them or anything of the sort, but, you know, it is a concern of mine, not even my doctor's, of mine, that I don't want to have to be relying on these for the rest of my life. And I've been in and out of all types of different counseling and tried all types of different alternate medicines that aren't benzos, that could possibly help me, and so far I just really haven't found that one thing that just really has improved things for me.
I finally found the right medication a couple months ago. I was on a different medication and it triggered my depression really bad. And I got super depressed. Like, you could tell that there was something wrong with me. I wasn't acting myself. And then I finally got on the right medication, and now I'm back to the old goofy person that I am. Smiling all the time, laughing, just having fun. I mean,
it's a game of roulette, really, just trying to find the right cocktail of medications for me, because I do have so many other health issues and mental health issues that it's not just depression and anxiety I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with, you know, a bipolar disorder. I'm dealing with, you know, my recovery and all of my withdrawals from that. So it's kind of like a whole
everything, a whole party.
And
a whole not fun party.
Just to find the right medications that don't interact negatively with other medications, and I have to go to 3 different doctors for each one, you know, and they all have to kind of play the phone game to communicate with each other and sit down and say, well, she's on this one with me, and this one with me, and this one with me, and then they have to make sure that everybody works together, and then I'm just over here like, this is fine.
Hey guys. Basically.
Mess. But it's nothing to be ashamed of, and that's what I've really come to learn over the past, especially year. Just me getting my life together and really getting myself, I mean, this time last year I was homeless. I was sleeping in motels, using the money I made as a waitress day to day, the tips that I made to, you know, get a hotel room for the night, and I would get drunk as I could at the bar with what little money I had left, and just go back to my hotel room and just cry about my life. I was so upset with where I was, and within the past year I have gotten a career.
Amazing job.
You know, running the HR department at a medical company, and just doing great, and I am now clean and sober. I have a new car, I have an apartment for the first time. I mean, I'm almost 31 years old, and this is the first time I have a place to call my own. And I've just been doing extremely well, and unfortunately there's still that underlying anxiety, that underlying depression, and some days I feel like, you know, I have all this, but I'm still hurt inside. There's still something inside of me that isn't right, and now I have to work on myself. I have everything around me now, and all the, you know, key ingredients to having a good life, but that doesn't make you, things don't make you have a good life.
No.
You have to be happy on the inside, and it's nothing to be ashamed of to have these problems. At all. And that's what I've learned in the past year, is that you don't have to be embarrassed by it. It's not something that you should try to hide. You know, be open with it and tell the people that you love and you care about, and tell strangers on the street if you want to, you know, tell them about your problems, because you never know who out there is going through something similar or exactly the same as you are, and they may have something to offer that, you know, you didn't know already and you didn't previously think about doing or trying. And it's all about just asking for help, and I know I personally am always open and, you know, around and available to help anybody who is struggling with anything, because chances are I've probably been through it. I have been the queen of trauma in life for as long
shit. Excuse my language,
as I
but
can
it's been
remember.
through some shit.
Yeah, I've been to hell and back. That's not a lie. And then I realized that hell had a basement, and that was when I hit my rock bottom. And, yeah, so I've been through it all. So, you know, I'm always there if anybody ever needs to talk.
I think the world in general has definitely welcomed a little bit more to mental health, especially depression and anxiety disorders. I really think the world has come pretty far.
Yeah.
I would say in the last 2 years, I know that I recognized when I went through my depression and anxiety, people know what it is. They may not understand it, but they definitely know what it is, because I think a lot of people my age and a little bit younger go through a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression. High school is not easy. I'm not in high school anymore, but high school is not easy. I remember when I was in high school, it's not easy. Those hormones, the boys, the drama, it's not fun sometimes. And you guys really have to like take a step back and remember that that's not what life is. I can't remember what happened in 2015, my junior year of high school. I don't remember that argument or that fight or the boy or, yeah. You gotta remember that there's way more to life. Like way more to life. And once you get that certain thing that helps your depression, whether it be medication, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's taking a walk outside, whether it's being around your friends, that's when you gotta find it. I know a lot of people don't like to be on medicine. I used to be the same way. But honestly, it helps. Anxiety and depression are a chemical imbalance, and it really it helps. I don't know how else to put it, but it helps, and I'm glad that the world is more open to welcoming the anxiety and the depression, and we're allowed to talk about it now, because it's a thing.
It's more of an open discussion now with people, and
yeah.
It's not so, you know, I don't know the word I want to use here. It's not so looked down upon when you say to somebody, oh, I have really bad anxiety. It's not like, oh, I have really bad depression. People aren't like, oh, that girl's weird.
Yeah.
Like, you're no longer just like the emo girl in the corner crying.
Literally.
You know,
that's what people used to think.
Yeah, and now it's like everybody deals with it. People all over the world, you know, all different lifestyles have these issues. It's not just one specific kind of person who's like dealing with it. Everybody deals with it, you know, and it's more normalized now.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the word I was looking for. That I couldn't find. I just said world. Well, I mean, people do stuff and then kind of just. But anyway. Yeah. So, we talked about when you realized that you had anxiety. What about your depression? Was that all your life, or did that start?
When I was 11, I lost my dad in a car accident, a DUI accident, and you know, I woke up one day and I said goodbye to him as normal, and then he just never came home. So that hit me hard, and I had to grow up a lot faster than I wanted to, and that I intended to. And since then, it's been nothing but one trauma after another, and I have lost boyfriends, I've lost best friends, I've lost, you know,
Friends in general.
yeah, so many people in my life, and it's been really hard on me as far as my depression goes. I mean, it's just continuously gotten worse over the years, and then add to that drug addictions, add to that alcoholism, you know, those two also add into your depression and make everything so much worse. You think at the time that it's helping because you're numbing yourself to that pain that you feel, and you're numbing yourself to your emotions. So in the moment, it feels like it's better, but it's not. Really, all it's doing is just temporarily getting rid of those feelings, only to wake up in the morning and feel 10 times worse because now you're depressed about whatever you were depressed about the night before, and you're depressed because you just went out and spent all your money at the bar and did something stupid that you regret, and you know, and it just keeps adding on to it. And I've been struggling with it, like I said, since I was 11. It's been an ongoing battle with me. I do not take depression medication, and that's because of my own personal choice. I've never found one that works. And if I find one that does work, it usually makes something else.
Your anxiety worse.
My anxiety worse, makes my bipolar worse. There's always a side effect, you know, that ends up kind of making it
That's
null
what
and
happened
void.
with my first medicine that I was taking for my anxiety, my depression just went.
Yeah, and it's,
But now I'm finally like, it levels out.
Yeah.
I can't even say I'm depressed. I don't think I am.
a big thing for me with depression is I need to be outside in nature.
Yeah.
That is a huge natural antidepressant for me, is hiking and just walking around in the woods, you know, I live right by the river, I can just go right across the road and sit right by the Susquehanna and just watch the water and just relax, and it just calms me, you know. I need to be somewhere where I can connect with the outside, not around people per se, but just around the world, like, you know, around everything, nature, and just kind of get out of my head and, you know, breathe some fresh air. And it's just, for me, that's just a natural antidepressant. That's what I do. Anytime I'm really feeling just overwhelmingly sad, or, you know, anything like that, I start getting bad thoughts in my head because, you know, I am a self-harmer. That's another thing. I've been dealing with self-harm my whole life, you know. So anytime I'm feeling thoughts like that, I just go outside and I just start walking, and I just walk until my legs are jello, and then I come home and then I'm better and I'm okay, and I'm so tired that it's like the thoughts kind of just drift away, and I can take a nap, and when I wake up I'm alright.
That vitamin D really helps, y'all. Telling you.
Yep. And you know, thankfully it's now been probably 6 months since the last time I self-harmed, just because I've been able to, you know, due to this quarantine, have a lot of time to just go walk around and get outside and do things, and not
It's been amazing weather.
Yeah, so it's been
I'm
getting
trying
better.
to think when I know when my grandfather passed away last February. I can't think. But anyway, it's either been last year or I think it was last year that he passed away now. Sorry Dad if you're watching this. I can't remember. But anyway, that's the first time that I really realized that I was depressed. I think I went through some type of phase, whatever it was, when my parents got divorced. But I was young at the time, and I didn't really think about that. I think I just acted out more. And by acted out, I mean with people where I wasn't supposed to be hanging out with.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what I did when my parents got divorced. And then watching somebody die for days at a time, slowly dying, that takes the life out of you, literally. It's exhausting. I can't even explain it. You kind of just have to go through it to understand.
Yeah.
But that dying process, whether they have cancer or whether they got into a car accident or whatever it may be, that's a rough process to watch, especially when they're at their own home and hospice is in. It's not easy. It's not easy watching somebody take their last breath. I wasn't there when he took his last breath, but I was there the night before he passed away in the morning. But that's a lot. That's a lot to deal with, and I really recognize that's when my depression really set in, and that's also when my anxiety got very bad.
Yeah.
I also was in a bad state of mind though. I didn't really have a great job. I was a server. Serving is hard to do, especially at a restaurant that you never know if you're gonna walk out with $20 or you're gonna walk out with 110.
Yeah.
So you just never knew if the bills were gonna get paid.
Yeah, there's no real security in those types of jobs.
At all.
As far as financial.
At all.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that I'm not a server anymore. I love serving to death, but it was a lot. It was a lot.
I did it for 15, 16 years.
I did it for 4, and I can't believe I did it for 4.
Each your soul.
Well, I did it for, 3.5, I guess, because I was a host first for like a year. But, it's a lot. The public isn't nice at all, especially when they're hungry. And I can tell you that firsthand because I'm not nice when I'm hungry, but I understand when I go out to eat that I need to be respectful to my servers. They are people, and they will talk shit about you in the back. Because I didn't know why. But that's besides the point. But anyway, we're not going to get on that rant because I could do a whole nother video about just about that. I have stories for days about Arubas.
Shout out new video ideas.
Me and you both have stories for days. Server life is not easy. But yeah, that if you're not in a good financial space and you're not surrounded with good friends, that could really affect a lot. I know it affected a lot for me. I'm just thankful to be where I am now. I have good 3 friends, I guess, and I have a stable job, and yeah. But I think this is about to be the end, because I don't have anything else to say. Do you have anything else
We
to
pretty much
say?
covered it. Just, if you need help, reach out. Don't
I'm
ever be
here.
afraid.
You guys know all of my social media if you need it.
She's gonna link me and my social media down below, so if you need anything, don't ever hesitate, feel free to reach out. Like I said, trauma queen right here, I've been through it all, so if you need anything, gotcha.
Just reminding you all, there will be another new video coming next week. Stay safe. Don't let the coronavirus get you. Have a blessed rest of your week. Yeah, week. Peace.